I'm Ben Moll, and I'm a professor of economics at the London School of Economics. My current research agenda is about the rich interaction between inequality on the one hand and the macroeconomy on the other hand. And this is part of a broader agenda in macroeconomics over the last 3 decades to incorporate realistic heterogeneity in macro models and to study macro questions in terms of distributions of micro variables like income or wealth rather than just aggregates. So the Society of Economic Dynamics kindly invited me to write about my work in this area, so that's what I did. This here is just a teaser, so I won't tell you the whole thing, but roughly a talk about 3 broad areas in the piece. First, Hank models for macroeconomic policy analysis. So in this work, we tried to develop richer and more empirically realistic models for the analysis of monetary and fiscal policy. In our work, and also lots of really great work by other economists, finds that taking the behavior we see at the micro level seriously really changes our understanding of the transmission of monetary policy, for example. So rather than intertemporal substitution being key as in representative agent models, there's a much richer variety of transmission mechanisms, and the income and wealth distributions are key for determining these. Second, the question, in countries like the US, why have income and wealth inequality increased in the first place? And there I talk about potential drivers of this increase like automation and superstar effects. Third, the development of better methods for solving macro models with distributions, in particular some of these continuous time methods I've been working on. And finally, in the end of my research summary, I discuss what I think are some interesting open questions and avenues for future research with the hope that this may be useful for young researchers who would like to work in this field. These are, first, the idea that perhaps heterogeneous agent macro could be a natural gateway to behavioral macro, because after all, the whole philosophy is to sort of try to build things up from the ground up and to take seriously empirical evidence on individual behavior. Second, that we need to better understand the causes and consequences of changes in wealth inequality that are due to changing asset prices. So for example, are such wealth increases just sort of paper gains, or do they actually affect welfare inequality as well? Third, how can we develop models that make sense of large crises that involve asset price booms and busts, in particular manias and panics, as in Charles Kindleberger's classic work? Anyway, I'll stop here for now, but I very much hope you can find some time to check out the summary of my research agenda.